Yeah, I knew I could count on you guys to tune in. Everybody wants to hear about internet drama. Yeah, I had some, or yeah, I kind of had some. I'm going to talk about it. Internet drama. And I'll talk about, I put Scott Adams in the thumbnail. He said something that people are talking about. He's trending on Twitter right now for what he said. And then I haven't done a show for a couple of days. Yeah, I had like a spiral. So, like every day, actually, before I do the show, I have an existential crisis. So, this one just lasted a couple of days. So, I'm sorry I didn't do the show. I did put out a few videos, though, just trying to figure out, like what my purpose is, like why we're here, why I'm talking to you. It was the result of a few things. Like it started out with I woke up and I checked my Twitter notifications, and the top Twitter notification was like, Nathan Stoltman is a Holocaust denier and spreads anti-Semitic tropes. He's also a child sex trafficking hoax promoter and all this stuff. And it was like top of my list. And I was like, what the F, man? So I'm going to tell you about who said that and just my rebuttal against it. So, I'll give the official story, even though I've been threatened. It's like, oh, don't talk about me. Well, I just have to be able to defend myself. It was kind of crazy. So that happened the other morning when I woke up. And then I went off into a tirade in my Discord with this conspiracy. Oh my God, it's so fucked up. I think things that are so wrong sometimes. This is the problem. I have to make sure I'm not thinking the wrong thing before I say the wrong thing. And so I have this, I don't even want to talk about it, but it's this crazy conspiracy theory that the train crash in Ohio really wasn't that bad. And people are kind of like overhyping it. Okay, just forgive me. All right, like don't judge me. Don't say, "Oh, what happened to Nathan?" So everybody's saying it's really bad. So like I'm going against the grain and saying, "No, maybe it's not that bad." Because some disasters in the past, they're not a lot of times they're not as bad as people say. But it's not it's really, 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 really the wrong opinion to have. It's part of the reason I was off for a few days. Because if I had that opinion, well, I did. So I went off in my Discord and I'm just like calling people names and stuff. And I was like, oh, trains derail all the time. Everything's going to be fine. Right. You guys are crazy. It's not the end of the world, etc. And then I said something to a friend of mine in my Discord that made them say that I'm a terrible person and that they don't want to talk to me anymore. And I was like, oh, that's fucked up. Like, I didn't mean to do that. Like, I was in a bad mood. So then, and apparently, I say things that piss people off a lot, right? It's the problem. And then there was a comment under my video, which I'll show you guys, which was the most liked comment. And that was like the final straw. Then I was like, oh, okay. Well, we're going to take a few days off, recalibrate things a little bit. But I did make some videos. I still think they're good videos. I couldn't get anything I'm trying to figure out this whole thing, right? The whole thing. So people say, but people are saying things about me now. I don't want people to think. I don't want people to think bad things about me. So anyway, here we are, though. Thanks for joining me. Good to see everybody. Pirate is saying it. This is it. Might as well change your channel name to Agenda Free TV. Yeah, exactly. I know. Maybe it is really bad. I showed everything that showed how bad it was. The chickens died. The water's really oily and stuff. I showed it. Now, Trump went there. Buttigieg went there today. I have the clips. I showed it. I made a video called Cover Up in Palestine, East Palestine. And I made that video. It's called Cover Up in East Palestine. But in the video at the end, I said, oh, maybe it's not that bad. The EPA, the EPA's tested it and stuff, the air and everything. They say it's fine. But then I see people say, I really, 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 really shouldn't have that take. Somebody said, bad take to me. Said, bad take, dude. So I have to, and this is part of the thing, is I feel pressure to go, I have to believe every conspiracy theory. And sometimes in the past, I've got in trouble for not going with the current conspiracy theory of the time. The most notably, the COVID is a fake virus conspiracy theory, which nearly everyone believed at one time, and which for some reason I felt the need to push back on and lost like half my audience forever. It never came back. They're like, oh, fuck this guy. He thinks viruses are real. I hate him. Like, what happened to Nathan? That's what people are saying. What happened to Nathan? So this is the trouble I get into. In some ways, I am a conspiracy theorist. For example, I've looked into the Holocaust, for example, which you can't do, by the way. Please don't read anything or take anything I show you. But I'll give my official thoughts since I've been challenged on it. I'll give my official thoughts for real, even though I never talk about it, because people take you out of context. Then they call you names. So I've looked into every conspiracy theory. I'm an expert on every conspiracy theory. Flat Earth, Holocaust denial, 9/11, JFK. Maybe I'm not an expert because other people really have a lot of expertise on that. But I mean, I'm familiar with the theories. Sandy Hook, Boston bombing, etc. I'm familiar with all of them. A lot of them are, totally believable that the conspiracy theory is true. But some of them, and then there was QAnon, for example. When QAnon came out, it was so popular. You guys don't even know. I had a video where I had on a guest, and in the title to my video, this is how viral QAnon was and how hard it was not to jump on the bandwagon. Was I made a video with somebody and I put in the title, "The storm is coming," something like that, literally. That was it. In the video, we maybe mentioned the QAnon drops. They had just started. The video got over 100,000 views, and we barely talked about it. And maybe in the sense that we talked about it, I think it was maybe to say it was probably not true. And then there's like the Rothschild helicopter crash was related to QAnon. 100,000 views, people like going crazy. And then I debunked QAnon when it was like the hottest thing. So I have a history of going against the grain is all. And it's just like it can be like hard on me mental. Like when people think, oh, like I hate you. That's what people end up thinking. Like people like hated me and harassed me and like gang stalked me a little bit over the virus. Just literally hated me. Couldn't believe that I would say viruses are real. Couldn't believe it. So anyway, I'm here tonight. I am going to grift. I am going to ask for money. I will read you the comments that say that all I care about is money. So I have to be aware of that. Some people think that's all I care about. It's not all I care about. I do care, though. I do care. It is good, like, to do the show and have people give me coffees and stuff. I feel like, okay, I did something. I feel like but in a way, I don't, yeah, depends on how you look at it. I don't change the things I talk about in order to have people give me money. But I do sometimes get mad at people and stuff. And I do get butt hurt when people don't donate and stuff. So sorry about that too. So I had that impression. I was like, oh, people literally think. People are literally saying, oh, I don't care about the truth. I just want donations. So you can give me donations at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. I don't know whether to put that on the screen or what. You can become a member if you really want to support the show at an ongoing basis so that I get paid even when I take time off. Go become a member at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. In talking about that is what got me in trouble with this internet drama. So I'll get into the internet drama. You guys are here for it. I'll get into the internet drama. I'll explain what happened. All on this, and we'll cover the news too. I mean, there's a lot of news, so we can talk about. I can talk about virtually anything. It's just deciding what the right thing is. So today, internet drama. Internet drama is always the right thing. Always. All right. All that and more.
Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news.
Yes. So I woke up, what was it, Tuesday or something. And I'd been on DeFango's show the day before. I didn't know like what was going on. To this tweet from Gabe Hoffman, which has 64 likes. Gabe Hoffman, I don't even have beef with him. Like I have no current beef with him or anything. I didn't even know. Like this was out of nowhere to me. I actually asked him to be on a Spaces with me, and I was upset because he called me a Holocaust denier. So anyway, I wake up to this tweet that says Nathan Stoltman at Lift the Veil 401 is a Holocaust denier and peddles anti-Semitic tropes. I've seen clips of him claiming there were no gas chambers, nowhere near, in quotes, 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust, and that Jews control immoral work fields. And he says if I talk about him, he's going to post more videos. So he's maybe going to post video. I don't know. I just feel like I have a right to defend myself when someone says that about me publicly. And this tweet, it shows the statistics here on Twitter, has 17,600 views. So 17,600 people saw something saying Nathan Stoltman is a Holocaust denier and peddles anti-Semitic tropes. Okay. Which I don't think I do. Like, first of all, so I don't deny the Holocaust. Like I've never said Hitler is a good person. I've never said it was a hoax. I have said some things. He posted a clip of me. I do have questions, which other people have historically had too, though. It's not even crazy. They make you think it's crazy. Well, and hateful. Hateful. That's the thing, right? Like I'm hateful. And I find this really offensive. That's the thing. So I wake up to this, like I'm offended that someone would call me a Holocaust denier because I don't deny it. I don't deny Hitler killed a bunch of Jews. Like it would be crazy for me to deny that. There's lots of evidence that Hitler hated Jews. Like, he wrote a book about it. Like, it wasn't cool being a Jew. And like, I've said this stuff a million times, which is why it's so crazy. It's like, I'm not Kanye West, I'm not saying Hitler was awesome. All I'm saying is, like, I don't know some things. And there are some things that, like, people have historically disputed, including Jewish people. So anyway, this is what he says. Nowhere near. And then Nathan Stoltman lied again on Defango today. I post receipts for 100% of reports on those who attack me with anti-Semitism. Okay. I've never reported Stoltman for anti-Semitism, which means I haven't said anything anti-Semitic to him, because I don't hate Jews and I have no problem with Jews. Sometimes I'm critical of sometimes I'm really critical of Christians. Sometimes I'm critical of Jews. Sometimes I say some things about Jews. Sometimes I make jokes. I don't hate Jews. Like, I like them, just like I like everybody. I'm really not a hateful person. So anyway, deeply offensive to me for somebody to publicly, in front of like thousands of people, say, "Oh, you're a Holocaust denier. You peddle anti-Semitic tropes." And then he went on to say that I peddled flagrant child sex trafficking hoaxes. And then at the end says, Nathan Stoltman's extensive history of irresponsibly promoting evidence-free, dangerous child sex abuse hoaxes. This is because I had on Isaac Cappy and Vegan Mikey. Combined with his virulent anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial, means no person of good repute should participate in anything he is associated with. Okay. This guy's like a hedge fund manager. He has 15,000 followers on Twitter, and is like, some people respect what he says. Like, people like, and the tweet got like 61 likes. So I said, I reached out to him. I just said, dude, like, I'm not a Holocaust denier. Don't say that about me. I'm not anti-Semitic. Don't say that about me. Like, it's offensive to me to say that, and it's not true. It's not true. I love Jews. I don't even promote like a Jewish conspiracy. Like, I have no problem. Some like what Gabe Hoffman does, I find annoying, So some Jewish people can be annoying, like the ADL and stuff. Yeah, like those Jewish people I find annoying, right? But it's not because they're Jewish, because there are other Jews that don't do that stuff. So obviously it's not something that you are born, that you like try to get people canceled on the internet. But for some reason, Gabe Hoffman feels like he has to do that. Anyway, he ended up getting ratioed. I don't know if it was bots or what. I said, this is straight slander from the wannabe ADL. Questioning a number isn't denying the Holocaust. You'll be lucky if I don't sue you. I thought, I was like, oh, can I? But then I realized I can't sue him, and I don't normally sue people. So I just said I would. But anyway, my tweet got 300 likes and 117 retweets. It like totally ratioed his tweet, but I don't know if it was like bots that came along. Like the next day I woke up and then all these people liked or retweeted my tweet out of nowhere. So I don't know if there's some kind of, and sometimes that happens with my tweets. I've had tweets that were retweeted by bots, like a bunch, and I don't know why. I don't control bots, so it wasn't me, but I'm willing to admit that it might have been bots that made my tweet get way more likes than his original tweet. But and then he posted a video. I'll play it. Anyway, the only thing. So, I'll show you how it started. Yeah, I'll show you how it started. I was like, why are you like, where did this come from? He's like, you said on Defango that he got me banned from PayPal. Okay. So right now, what I'm doing, I apologize for saying Gabe Hoffman, with the saying he was the prime suspect. I said, this is what's crazy. Like, this is the proportionate response to me on DeFango's show saying this. Okay. So this is where that came from. And then he did post a clip of me saying, like, I haven't seen evidence for some things, right? I'll be real about it. Like, I just don't know some things. And people have questioned some things historically, including, like I said, Jewish people, like Murray Rothbard, who's like a famous libertarian thinker, a Jewish person, said he didn't believe it was 6 million. There are books about it. Yeah, Ron Unz is a Jewish person who wrote about Holocaust denial. And there's some interesting questions for sure. And I think it's okay to question history. I've questioned other parts of history too that are also offensive to some people. Like, I think Jesus might not have died on the cross at all, which means that he couldn't have been resurrected because it was such a short period of time. But Christians don't ever come after me. They never say, oh, you're anti-Christian, or I need to attack you, or smear you as being anti-Christian. I've said, like, the Holy Sacrament is like a blood ritual, but Christians never give me a problem, right? They're never like, oh, I'm going to cancel you. But I say all kinds of stuff about Christians. And I consider myself kind of Christian because I read what Jesus said. Anyway, I'll show you where this thing started, and then you guys can decide if it was proportional. Let me see. Somebody says, all right, I have no idea. Somebody else already says, I can't watch anymore, says June. Much love, Nate. Well, I don't know what I said wrong. These are the kinds of things. But why not? Why don't you want to watch anymore? What did I do? Anyway, I'll show you, like, where this started, what it started from. And like I said, I'm wrong. Apparently, Gabe Hoffman didn't get me banned from PayPal. I thought maybe he did because he's gotten some other people banned from PayPal before. That's all. And I happened to get banned, and I knew that Gabe was saying I was being anti-Semitic and sharing clips of me, like, on DeFango's show and stuff. So I thought, oh, maybe it was Gabe, because he has gotten people banned from PayPal before. He has shown receipts before. And anyway, I didn't have a problem with him. This is what's crazy. I was trying to get him on a Spaces with me, and then he called me a Holocaust denier. And I was like, obviously that's a smear. And I just don't consider it to be factual. Like, I just don't know. I've talked to somebody who said they have evidence, or that they've seen, like, names, and they're sure that it's 6 million at least. But there are other people who say different things, and it's, and they didn't say it right away. They came up with the number later, and everybody knows it's an estimate. I mean, it's something that's really hard to prove. It's hard to prove. So anyway, so I don't appreciate being called anti-Semitic for thinking it. I don't think it is anti-Semitic. I don't do it out of hatred. I just look into history and stuff. I'm, like, really interested. I'm really interested into taboo subjects. Anyway, this is where it started. Then you guys can see if it's proportional. So this is it. This is what it was based off of. This is why he had to do a thread about me. Like,
I'm sorry,
I had
guys.
him on the show.
Goyim was trying to mount my cat.
Goyim? Are you an anti-Semite, sir?
Yeah, are you an anti-Semite, bro? You keep saying that, and your dog is named that.
Can't come on this show. Gabe Hoffman will find you He'll
Oh,
cancel you.
no, I'm not anti-Semitic. Or
Dude, why you always got to talk shit about Gabe?
Gabe,
Like, it's like-
I showed you my last messages with Gabe. I asked him to come on the Twitter Spaces, and he goes, "No, you're a Holocaust denier. I hate you. Like you're hateful." I was like, "I'm not a Holocaust denier. Like, what are you talking about?" He said,
Yeah, I remember that.
You said you thought it was less than 6 million." And I was like, "Give me a break, dude. Like what's wrong with people?"
Well, yeah.
I know.
So
like,
anyway,
that would be
that's
like,
where I'm at.
You know
with
what?
him.
if the
I'm
police
looking
said-
at my last text message with him, and it says, "I'll go ahead." Sorry.
Yeah, no, like
Go
that
ahead.
would be like saying if the police said there was an accident and 6 people died, and
Right.
then you were like, well, based upon evidence that I found, it's more like 1 or 2 people died. That wouldn't make you
Right.
a car crash denier.
Right.
Dude,
Right.
bro,
But apparently,
you
according to
guys-
Gabe Hoffman, I am. So
Yeah, I sent him a link for that. Remember when we were in that space and you were telling me I sent him that link? Happening now, Eliza Blue Files, and he was like, "Thanks, but we'll never be involved with anything Slopeman, the Jew hater and Holocaust denier, is doing."
like, how am I a
exactly what
Jew
he said
hater?
to me.
That's what he said to you,
I'm just
right?
like,
I'm
that's
like,
exactly
dude,
what he
like,
said to me.
how many times do I have to say I love Jewish people on my show before
you
I
Jewish?
become not a Jew hater? People think I'm Jewish. For God's sake, I
Oh.
can pass.
I feel
I
like
pass
you could
as
pass.
Jewish.
I don't really know that many Jewish people, to be perfectly honest. Like, I knew this chick one time, Gabe, and then there was like some people in school or whatever, but like they'd always, like be off doing their own thing anyway. So I didn't want to bother them. And then, I heard at one point that they might be aliens, and I was just like, tight.
Who,
or whatever.
Jewish people?
Oh, that was like some joke that somebody had, like, I was looking it up, like researching it, and in like on the internet somewhere, there's like a blog that talks about how in the holy book of the Jewish people, the Torah, it talks about how they actually came here on a spaceship.
Oh,
That was like a
Could be.
spaceship, but it was like a dome, and it had like land, and like a bunch of people lived on it, and then like landed here. And then that's how they got here or whatever. And I thought that was like the craziest fucking thing that I'd ever read about the situation. But that just made me only want to know more about Jewish people at that point. And then,
very
usually when you
interesting.
go, yeah, it's like, I like Gabe. I think it's funny because he's been popping up a lot lately because of the Mersh shit. You know who Mersh is from like Nightwave Radio, Revenge of the Sis.
Mhm.
Like, I like Mersh. Mersh does not like me because of old beef or whatever. Like, I live and let live, though. I don't have a problem with the guy. I wish he would just, but he doesn't like me because I talked to Gabe Hoffman, and he seems to think that Gabe Hoffman is just coming after him. So, like, when you said that stuff earlier, I was just like, you sound like Mersh.
Well, I think it's possible that Gabe Hoffman is the reason I got canceled from PayPal. I think it's my
possible.
top suspect.
That's
because
what I
he
said.
does that.
It's just a suspect, right?
Just a suspect.
Do you
I don't
have
know for sure.
evidence?
No,
Do you have
no.
evidence that he does that?
No,
So it's just
just
an
that he's the only person I know who was like clipping my show and going out and telling people I hated Jews. Like that's the only reason. Just because he's the only person I know who was like saying like I'm an anti-Semite and I need to be canceled or whatever. So
Somebody,
I get you on
somebody's in
that
the
one.
chat saying this kind of sounds like
that's it. That's all I said. I said maybe. And meanwhile, Mersh is claiming that Gabe got him banned from Buy Me a Coffee. Okay, so Gabe didn't get me banned. I told him, I was like, dude, I'll apologize. Then just apologize for calling me an anti-Semite because I'm not. And like, it's fake news. And I don't need people like thinking that. I don't need people thinking that about me because I don't want people to think that about me because it's not true. I like Jewish. I have Jewish friends. Like, I don't want them thinking like, oh, he's an anti-Semite. Oh, Holocaust denier. But literally, I don't know. Like, what the F? So anyway, that's one of the things that spun me out. And then, oh, should I put up my Buy Me a Coffee thing? Somebody said I should. You can get t-shirts too. We have great t-shirts at truthclothing.io. If you want a deal on cryptocurrency t-shirts, let me know. truthclothing.io for our t-shirts. Buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil is how you can support the show. Yeah, and then there was a comment. I'll show you. So anyway, that was that story. Just defending myself, making myself clear. I've done some research. I think it's an interesting topic. I don't hate Jews. I don't think Hitler was great. I don't support the Nazis, whatever. If I have to say, like, I literally don't know. There are some things I just don't know. I don't think anybody knows. That's what I think. Some people, they have guesses and stuff, and that's fine. But let's be serious. Like, so anyway, that was that story. So that happened. That's my response to it. And then there's this. Then there was this. Nuck Fugget, the most liked comment on my last stream about Project Veritas. And this is where, like I said, maybe I have the wrong instincts, or I'm not saying the right thing about Project Veritas, which makes me think, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk at all because I'm just going to say something stupid that makes people not want to tune in. Nuckfucket said, not sure what has happened with you, Nate. Seems you've lost your touch. You no longer seem interested in uncovering the truth, but are stepping directly in line with the mainstream. I hope you find what you are looking for someday, he said. And that got the most likes of any comment. And he might have used bots because it's not the highest ranked comment, even though it has the most likes. But somebody did reply and said, Nathan seems to only be interested in money these days, not truth. That's what Sojourner in a Foreign Land said. So that's it, not truth. So I'm not interested. So that's what people think. I just don't know. Maybe like, so then I had to think, like, people really think that. There are people out there who really think that, like, oh, Nathan's losing it and stuff. I've heard it before. So I don't like it. I just try to say like the way I see things. Sometimes it's like the wrong take. So I need a handler or something, or somebody to just tell me. That's why I think the AI version of me could be really successful, because I feel like I'm really talented, but I have to be talking about the right things. And I too frequently talk about the wrong things. And I have bad instincts sometimes, really bad. So anyway, that's my story. I'm back though today. I should do a show every day. I'm also watching other videos. If you want to help out, you can like the video. You can subscribe to the channel. You can give coffees. You can become a member, however you want to support. All right, then. Okay, now I'll cover the news. That's all my internet drama. That's pretty much it. Okay. Why isn't this coming up? Oh, yeah, there we go. Scott Adams said something extremely controversial. Scott Adams, yeah, he just said something controversial. So I'll play it. Is the sound and everything okay? Hopefully everything's 5x5. Twisted TB says, if only Nathan could have been MK Ultra'd, he would be way better at podcasting. Yeah, something like that. And Tangent Angela, thank you for defending me. I appreciate it. That's cool. I look at all that. I try to look at comments and stuff, see what people are saying. But then it really made me think. I was like, oh yeah, people just think I'm lame, basically. Just lame mainstream bullshit. So then I have to think, okay, what do I do? So anyway, this is controversial, what Scott Adams said. He wrote in this piece, which he calls I Accidentally Joined a Hate Group. So I'll play this clip. This is a controversial clip of Scott Adams, who has been pushed too far. I'll play it.
So I realized, as you know, I've been identifying as Black for a while, years now, because I like to be on the winning team, and I like to help. And I always thought, well, if you help the Black community, that's sort of the biggest lever. You can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit. So I'd like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping Black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as Black to just be on the team I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white, which is, of course, why I identified as Black, so I could be on the winning team for a while. But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it, and you go, whatever. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So if nearly half of all Blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from Black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low Black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly Black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help Black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to Black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help Black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying. Now we should be friendly. Like I'm not saying start a war or do anything bad. Nothing like that. I'm just saying get away. Just get away. And here's my take on all of it. Everybody who focuses their priority on education does well. If anybody in the Black community focuses on education, they'll do well as well, because the system allows that. If they don't, I can't make that my problem anymore. It just can't be my problem. It can't be my problem if the solution is so clear, so available, and people don't want to take it. It's just not my problem anymore.
So there you go. A lot of people in the comments say based. Pirate X Pirate identifies as Black and says, I'm a cool Black guy. You guys don't have to keep away from me. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is listen. I live around mostly white people for sure. I live in an area that's super white and it's super safe and stuff too. So like I get where he's coming from to a certain extent. Sure. Like I don't have to worry about locking my car and stuff. I don't know if it just so happens that is a lot of white people and we don't have much crime. That's true. And there are some things you can say about statistics for sure. That's true. But I think he saw a poll that said that black people don't care about white people or don't like white. I've just never experienced that. Like I've never experienced black on white hatred. And like all my experiences with black people have been cool. So I realize that I see the videos and stuff that people post, and people do post a lot of videos. And I think that gives people the impression that things are like way worse than they are when you see videos all the time of like black people beating people up. But people post those all the time. It does give you like a certain kind of impression. And then people spread those videos. And then there are some people that really don't like black people. I mean, really, genuinely. That's a thing. So it sounds like Scott Adams. It's kind of like pretty divisive. It's not my style. That's not my style. I like all people. I really do. I want everybody to be able to listen to my show, even trans people. But I say things about trans people that are very, very offensive to some people for sure. Super offensive. It's just what I believe, but I'm not against. Like I would never not be nice to a trans person, as long as they were cool to me. I wouldn't like go out of my way to be offensive or anything. But in any case, thought I'd share that clip that is going around. So there's a South Park clip that's going around. I can't even play for you because it's South Park, which is they'll just ban the video automatically. Oh, look, trending right now is 6 billion trending on Twitter. I showed you guys my internet drama. You guys got to hear that whole thing. You guys have seen the girl that is the grand jury girl, right? I made a video about it. I'll play you Pete Buttigieg in East Palestine. I'll play you some of that video. I'll show you what people are doing. They're drinking water in East Palestine. They say it's cool there. They say it's totally cool. Trump is gone now. Trump went to East Palestine and Biden went to the Ukraine. And that's the narrative. It's like, oh, Joe Biden went to Ukraine before he went to Ohio, where there's this huge disaster, according to some people. Thanks, Jared Boomer, who says, truth hurts people, Nathan. Thank you for that. Truth does hurt sometimes. These are people, here's the Ohio EPA posted this, enjoying a glass of clean water in East Palestine. Bunch of people, fire chief. Look, they're all giving a cheers to each other, drinking water. So that's going on. They say it's good. They say they tested it and it's okay. I'll play a clip of Pete Buttigieg. All right, here we go. So yeah, Scott Adams. Yeah, I think. I don't think he has to. I don't like. I think we like in my perfect world, we all get along. Like I try to think the best of people. When I see somebody in front of me, I think they're going to be nice to me because I'm a nice person. And so, and generally, it works out. Even though, like, they might not realize I'm a nice person because I'm not looking at them and I'm like frowning or something. But anyway, I generally think of myself that way. And people generally are nice. I don't have problems with people. I like everybody. So assuming that people hate you is a bad way to go through life. That's all. Assuming people hate you isn't a great way to go through life. You should assume that people are going to like you because you're a nice person and there's no reason for them not to like you. If they're going to hate you, then yeah, that's their problem, basically. All right, let me play this.
And to any national political figure who has decided to get involved in the plight of East Palestine, I have a simple message, which is I need your help, because if you're serious about this, there is more that we could do to prevent more communities from going through this. And to any...
They could prevent, they could have prevented the train crash with some more sensors. Apparently, they might have been able to prevent it if they'd had more sensors. Like a wheel was on fire for a while. And if they hadn't cut back on, I don't know, government regulation or something, the rich train company cut corners. Whatever the story is, the evils of capitalism caused the accident. Here's more Pete Buttigieg. People say they wouldn't drink the water. Yeah, Branch says, if you criticize the public officials in East Palestine, you could be accused of anti-Semitism. Now, I was going to say, if you support East Palestine, if you were like free East Palestine, they'd say, oh, no, you're anti-Semitic. No, and you can't say Palestine. I think it's funny that the same word can be pronounced different ways, different places. And it's like correct, right? They say East Palestine in Ohio. So that's the way you have to say it, even though it's the same word that we say Palestine for. It's the same with Nevada. People say Nevada who are from Nevada. Wherever you're from, like you have to say things. The name of a place is determined. It's said the way people from the place say it. So I think there's a place near me. For example, there's a town near me called Paso Robles, which is how it would be pronounced in Spanish, but I think people say Paso Robles. And so the correct way to say it is Paso Robles, even though the Spanish way to say it would be Paso Robles. I'm pretty sure that's true near me. And then Nevada, people would say Nevada, but people from Nevada, so you have to say Nevada, even though it seems weird. All right, here's press secretary. Here's Pete Buttigieg not answering questions, and his press secretary saying she will only answer questions not on camera. So
to the government's slow response, do you have any apology? I'm a press person, I can help you. Sure. So can we ask why it took him almost 3 weeks to get here?
I'm sorry, I don't want to the camera. What was his personal time off while there was a tragedy happening here?
And can we also ask too why he waited until President Donald Trump came here to actually make an appearance? This is a very important question that people across America would like to know.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I do not want to be on camera.
I have a quick question for you real quick. My name is Alexis Jordan with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Can you ask what the Secretary of State is doing outside of if any care?
And you guys, I would like you guys to turn your cameras off.
You're not on my camera.
Well, I'm on a camera. I would like the cameras to be off, and then I'm happy to talk to you guys.
Well, if you're the press secretary of the Department of Transportation, don't you think you should be able to ask questions from the American public?
Absolutely. I would like to do it without the camera on.
Can I ask why?
I think that is a little bit aggressive. That's why.
Why is it aggressive?
I'm
on behalf
happy
of the American people, I'm just asking why he has not been here until Donald Trump came.
She's asked several times to then turn the camera.
All right, you hear that? Okay.
Maybe we'll not do it.
So they won't turn the cameras off. Ma the Meatloaf says, I've never heard Paso Robles pronounced that way. Yeah, I might be wrong. I might have made that up. I'm not even sure how it's pronounced for sure. But they might say Paso Robles. I feel like I've heard people say that, but I'm not sure. I was just trying to come up with an example. Might have been incorrect. So yeah, that was Pete Buttigieg, who's gay, which is fine. Oh, it wasn't even him. You didn't even get to see him. You just saw his press secretary who said she won't answer pictures on anything on camera. So what do you guys think? I mean, I saw something about it that said something about dioxin, some kind of dioxin going into the soil. So we'll see how bad it is. For right now, the EPA says the air is fine. They say they've tested it, which I believe it would have dispersed by now. And they say the water's fine. And I know a few animals died and fish and stuff died because there was a leak of toxic chemicals into some stream, basically, at least. And then that ended up going down the Ohio River. But after all that's said and done, what's the lasting damage? I don't know. I did see something about dioxin going into the soil and that being really bad. So I'm open to that possibility. I'm also open to the possibility, though, that it's not going to be that bad, based on the fact that disasters throughout time are often not as bad as they say they're going to be. That's all. Like Fukushima, everybody was saying like the whole ocean was going to be poisoned. Like fish was going to be radioactive in California after Fukushima. But that didn't come to fruition. Like we didn't end up having radioactive fish. And they kind of said we would. And then Chernobyl, they literally said stuff wouldn't grow there for tens of thousands of years. Chernobyl. And right now it's like a wildlife preserve. You can find articles about it. Chernobyl wildlife, animals. Why the animals of Chernobyl thrive in the exclusion zone. So I'll show you that. That's all. Sometimes I think my natural reaction to things is, it's not as bad as they say. That's sometimes my reaction to things. Like if everybody says something's really bad, I might think to myself, but I'll show you about Chernobyl. All these animals and forest and stuff. I mean, they said nothing would grow there. It was fine within a month. Chernobyl was, but it's still an exclusion zone. People aren't allowed to live there. See, look at these cute foxes. And there's like a radioactive sign, but there's a forest. There's all these dogs. No defects or anything. It's an animal refuge. National Geographic captures the unexpected turnaround of Chernobyl and the Red Forest as an animal refuge. So that is one of the reasons I think nuclear power. They say nuclear power is really dangerous, but when you look at it, the accidents, the grand scheme of things, there have only been a few of them. And the results, it wasn't the end of the world, you know. That's why I think nuclear power is good, because the nuclear accidents so far, yeah, they've been bad, but we also have oil spills, stuff just from using oil. We have disastrous oil spills. So if we do nuclear and we have an accident every once in a while, maybe it's not that bad. And maybe we can avoid having bad accidents. All right. Putin gave a speech like he could be a right-wing influencer, basically, talking about the family and so forth. Did you guys hear Putin's speech? Marriage, family, etc. Degeneracy in the West. I'll play the clip of it. Then I'll take some phone calls today. Thanks for tuning into the show. I appreciate you. Internet drama.
They cannot ignore the fact that Russia cannot be defeated on the battlefield. So they're waging increasingly aggressive information attacks. First of all, targeting the young generations, lying on every step, distorting historical truth, attacking our culture, the Russian Orthodox Church, and other traditional religious institutions in our country. Now look at what they're doing with their own peoples. They're destroying the institution of family, their cultural and historical identity, and various perversions with regard to children up to pedophilia are accepted as the new norm, and priests are forced to recognize and officiate same-sex weddings. People can live however they want, and we in Russia have never intruded into people's private life, and we're not going to do that. But what we want to say is maybe they should take a look in the scripture, into the holy book of any great religion. It says that the family is a union between woman and man. And these holy texts are now being increasingly doubted in the West. The Anglican Church is now considering the idea of a gender-neutral God. What can we say? God forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of people like to hear that kind of talk. I personally, I think it's okay for Pete Buttigieg to be married to a man, given that marriage is like a contract and he's into dudes. He's never going to be into chicks. I don't feel like you have to force him to be with a girl just because. But I get what he's saying. And he's saying we support pedophilia. So I was saying he could be a right-wing influencer. Hivemind says he has never directly, he's talking about me, he has never directly denied being Jewish. When DeFango asked, he just said, some people think I am, not no. Interesting. Well, if people did think I was, then that would be good. Then it would be a lot harder for me to be peddling anti-Semitic tropes all the time if I was actually Jewish. Someone also said I was right about something. And SCB said, as usual, I think you're right about Ohio. I've only seen anecdotal evidence. Well, don't say that in public. People definitely think it was really, really bad. I saw something about dioxins. Okay. So it might be really bad. But if they're not growing anything there, does it matter if there's dioxins in the soil? I'm not sure. As long as the water's clean and the air's clean, I'm sure the air is fine. It would have dispersed by now. It was bad at first. It killed some animals. They dumped some chemicals in the water that killed fish. But are people still having health effects? Are animals still dying? Doesn't seem like it. So we'll see. All right, I can take phone calls. Let's see if anybody bought me a coffee. And then if they didn't, I'll throw a fit as usual. And then people can accuse me of not caring about the truth anymore and only doing it for the money. But the grift is important. Let's see if the phone works today. It didn't work last time. I'm pretty sure somebody tried to call in last time. So embarrassing to a show. People just judge you all the time. (650) 429-8294. 650 gay taxi is the number. You can call in and you can talk about whatever subject you'd like. Thanks for tuning into this show. It's good. Maybe I'll call the show Internet Drama. I might use that title again because I see some people tuned in, but it might be people tuned in because I haven't been live for a few days. Let's see. Check my coffees. Holofractal bought a coffee. Says, Nathan, I've been a viewer of yours since 2018. If I could offer you one piece of advice. Okay. Don't be too concerned with the opinions of others. Speak your mind and only apologize when you feel in your heart you have done something wrong. Not when you feel like your back is against the wall with the fear of losing a part of your audience. Keep doing you, big guy. Thanks, Holofractal. I do, yeah. Well, I have PTSD, that's all, from having said the wrong things before. Someone bought 10 coffees. I followed you for many years as a fellow college alum, which might be also Carnegie Mellon. I truly believe you are a critical thinker. I've always respected your opinion, and when I saw that tweet from him on my timeline, it really upset me. Try not to let the static get you down. I know it's tough. It hurts. We're in strange times, and people need to start running in our direction versus the cliff. Otherwise, we're doomed. Al Shizzle. Thanks, Al Shizzle. It's really nice of you to get 10 coffees. All That Matters bought 5 coffees. Says, thank you for being the real Nathan. Thank you for being real, Nathan. Not a lot of people out there can embrace every aspect of who they are the way you do. Love, love, love. Lift the veil. You do a fabulous job. Keep on keeping on, friend. Well, that's nice. Thanks. Thanks for that. All That Matters. 5 coffees. Retod bought 3 coffees. Says, I care about the truth. It's also true that I wish I could contribute more often. Jobs don't pay too well when you're a retod. Rip the Veil bought a coffee and said, just keep talking. Thanks for the coffees, people. Oh, wow. I think there's more. Oh, wow. Hold on. There's a whole bunch. Oh, it's like, okay, I have to get through these. All right, I have to get through these. I have a whole bunch of coffees. Okay, I'll answer this. Thanks for all the coffees, people. I'm like shocked. Hey, you're on the air.
Nathan, this is Stephanie Gregg in Tucson. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really excited. I'm a little celebrity struck.
Really?
I've been following you. I am, yeah. I've been following you since 2015.
Really? That's forever, because I only started in 2015.
Yes. So right
Wow.
when I was it was a few years after I was waking up, so to
Right.
speak. And I caught on to you pretty quickly, so I feel really grateful.
Cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to encourage you, first of all, with the criticisms. I feel like I wouldn't let that get to you so much.
Thank you.
Because, yeah, I feel like you are a fairly sensitive person, and you do care, and I think it's really, really evident. And when somebody makes accusations that are really damaging or hurtful, it affects you. So,
Yeah.
And plus, to get into the astrology thing a little bit, I feel like I'm kind of feeling that way today myself. So I don't know if it's just kind of in the air too.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. Yeah, people say it's like the end of the world and stuff. So,
right?
That's what people say.
And it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask you a question, because you mentioned the only time you really kind of got into the whole conversation around pedo stuff and harming children was back in the Cappy and Vegan Mikey days and stuff. And I'm wondering, what did you ever make of that? I never got a real clear understanding of what you thought about Vegan Mikey. Do you think he was legit?
I personally think that his story was I believe the main story, actually, even though it turned out he had lied about like having a little criminal history. But Gabe
Okay.
Hoffman called him a felon. He wasn't a felon or anything. He'd like gotten in a
Right.
fight. He'd gotten in a fight with his girlfriend, and there was like an
Yeah.
open charge against him, which he didn't tell people about. And then like that was where he got caught in a lie. But as far as the other
Okay.
stuff, like it checks out. First of all, he knew people he claimed to have an interaction with people who were involved with Comet Pizza,
Yep.
who had moved to the Portland area, and they were making coffins. And he was like, and that was true. Like you could find articles. It was true. Like these people who had been
Yeah.
associated with Comet Pizza had moved to Portland, and they were, and they made coffins, including like, and he said they made coffins for Voodoo Donuts and stuff. So anyway, there
Right.
were parts of his story. And as a matter of fact, he claimed he made child sex abuse claims to the police every time he made a police record. And I requested a police record, and they told me they couldn't give it to me because it included charges of child sex stuff. So so anyway,
So it checked
some
out.
of the stuff checked out, so
Yeah.
so anyway,
And it doesn't mean he has to have like it to have an experience or report on it doesn't mean that you have a blemish free history. I mean, who among us does,
well,
I
yeah.
was just curious about that. And then I'm hoping he's okay. Like he was really, really in a bad way.
Yeah.
And after Cappy passed, we didn't hear anything from him. I was just wondering if I was praying for him a lot, and it was really riveting. And unfortunately, those were in those days, we could get like actual communication and information from people. And now I just don't think we would get any kind of firsthand communications like that because everything is so shut down and censored, of course.
Yeah, right. Well, it's interesting. Like if I had to do it again, I wouldn't have him on, right? Because I've learned my lesson.
Oh, really?
I guess.
Why?
I guess. Well, because it put me in legal jeopardy, I guess, which I didn't think about.
dear.
With like
Okay.
they could have Voodoo Donuts could have sued me or something, right? So
Okay. I thought it was like so courageous, and it was like groundbreaking and huge, like so huge. So I don't know. I mean, I'm really grateful that you gave him that platform, and that we were able to get a firsthand account, because he was at some of these parties where little children were ushered in, and he was like, "What the heck? Who are those kids with?" Remember?
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, and I believe I believe it. So
you believed him. Okay.
yeah, I believe
And
it.
I just really felt for him. And it would be nice to know how he's doing. And
Yeah, hopefully he's
doing
doing.
well.
Hopefully he's doing okay. Somebody told me something that he might have died or something, but I don't
Oh,
know. I really don't know. So I really don't know
Well-
what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And I wanted to tell you congratulations. I know it's been a long time now, but on your finding a wife and having a
thanks.
happy household, and that's really wonderful.
Thanks.
So So thank you for taking my call, and I'm glad you're on the air, and keep it up. You're doing a fantastic job.
All right. Thanks. That's really nice. Thanks very much.
Okay. Have a good evening.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
That's really nice. And then I had more coffees. Rip the Veil got a coffee, said, just keep talking. Elizabeth Havrilla brought 3 coffees. Says, you're appreciated. Thanks for the dedicated work that you do. Thank you, Elizabeth. Walker Landis became a member. Oh, that's so cool. Becoming a member is the coolest thing. Hey, Nathan, I've been listening for many years and love your show. I feel like it's time to finally start supporting you. Sorry it's taken so long. If you're still offering a t-shirt, I'd like a propaganda size medium. Thanks for all you do. Walker Landis, if you can hear me, email me or contact me on Twitter. I have open DMs on Twitter at Lift the Veil 411. That's the best way to contact me. Or you can email me at lifttheveil401@gmail.com. The free t-shirt offer isn't for a propaganda t-shirt, though. It's for a Lift the Veil t-shirt. I get to choose the t-shirt, but you could get a propaganda shirt. And if you email me or message me, I'll see what I can do. Okay. The offer, though, is for a Lift the Veil shirt, the free t-shirt. But yeah, just message me on Twitter. Anybody can reach me that way, by the way. Scott Riviera bought a coffee, said, thanks for providing the video on trans detrans. As a 55-year-old GWM, I found all this very confusing. In my day, the gay white male, okay, I think that means gay white male. I've found all this very confusing. In my day, the girls were lesbians and the boys were gay, fag, homo. And that was confusing enough. Thanks for sharing, Scott. Yeah, there's a great documentary I shared, which you really should watch. I could have done a separate Substack post for it. It was pulled down off of Vimeo, but it's back on Vimeo. And it's called Affirmation Generation. And it's part of my last Substack post. It's embedded in my last Substack post, which is at lifttheveil.substack.com. And yeah, it's called Affirmation Generation. It's really a great documentary about the gender stuff, which is like a really, really serious issue, which I could discuss more. Like I'd like to talk to a detranser for sure. If I knew the right person, like I'd like to talk to like a detranser about the experience and stuff. That is a serious topic. And yes, thank you for that coffee. I'm glad you liked the video. Someone bought 5 coffees. Thank you, someone. Spaldo bought 12 coffees, who said you dipped on Friday. Hoax picked up the slack, though. Okay, that's cool. Hoax Wars is live now. I have to get on Hoax Wars show more often. There's internet drama happening between Owen Benjamin and Made with Jim Bob. There's internet drama happening between those two people, which is interesting internet drama. So I have to tune into Hoax Wars to see what that's all about. And then I might be on that show. Yeah, I'm just a guy trying to get through in the world, trying to do the right thing. But I just don't know all the time. That's all. I have doubts. And then sometimes what people say bothers me. It's true. Like I don't have a thick skin sometimes. So, but I appreciate it. Thanks everybody who gave me. That's really nice that like a bunch of people gave me coffees. That's really nice. I really appreciate it. All right, people aren't calling or the phone isn't working properly. I have a feeling the phone isn't working right because there are enough people tuned in. The branch says, do you think, I'll just go to the chat and I'll see if people have questions. The branch says, do you think people, where is it? Do you think people make up internet drama for promotional purposes? Do you think that YouTubers create drama for promotional purposes? Definitely sometimes because it's good business. People will just go drama. I try not to. I got into drama. My YouTube career has been different. Like I used to be a different kind of person. So I was much more confrontational before, much more confrontational. So I went after David Seaman, for example, and George Webb and Dave Acton and like everybody on the internet I had a beef with. I went after Cernovich a little bit, but I'm much less confrontational now than before because I just don't see it as the best strategy. Like if I had to do it again, maybe I wouldn't make the video about David Seaman and Pizzagate, even though it was a really popular video, which people really liked. It actually like ended David Seaman's internet career, basically. So yeah, I was into internet drama before. I'm good at it. I'm good at it. I'm good at internet drama, but I don't like it in a lot of ways. All right. I think the phone might not be working. Oh, it says the browser is preventing calls from ringing. Although I haven't seen any calls come in. I'll refresh this. Oh, cool. I see something new I can do. I just found out something new about StreamYards. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Oh, neat. Neat. I just found out something really cool about StreamYards. If you ever want to learn how to be a live streamer, I could tell you. It's pretty easy. They have the tools for it. But check this out. Look at this. I can switch between tabs. See, I didn't know how to do that before. Oh, that makes things so much better. The show just got a lot better. The show just got way better. There's going to be less dead space between me switching tabs. Oh, this is outstanding. I can show you this. People, this is crazy. Oh, how great is that? Oh, they don't have the... Where is the video? There was this video of Joe Biden. It was fake, though. I couldn't believe people thought it was real. Oh, this is good video. Oh, this is so great. I shared this video. This is a poker player who got caught on tape talking about the shots. And which, by the way, are safe and effective, proven safe and effective. Everybody agrees they're safe and effective. But this is somebody who got caught on hot mic playing poker.
I wish I would have never got the vaccine.
What's that?
I wish I never would have got the vaccine.
I never did.
I've been had chest pain ever since I had that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You're still having it?
Yeah, from time to time. And they're saying that you get hard arteries. And
Yeah.
So I need to go get it checked out. But ever since, dude, it's just...
That's horrible.
It's been weird.
I held out until like a month ago, not even a month ago.
Oh, is that right? Why did you decide to get it then also?
I wanted to come play the World Series.
Well, they didn't have that guideline list right now.
Pardon me?
They didn't have that.
As a foreigner, you can't get into U.S.
Brian Kim also sent the rail earlier.
I wish.
So there's that clip. But everything's fine with the shots. Hey, you're on the air.
Nathan, hey, I avoided calling in because I didn't want to. I think I'm just adding to the drama. But this is Jesse. I don't want to make it about me.
What's up?
Just for my purposes, it's helpful because doubt creeps in. Like we doubt each other. We never know 100% about the other person, right? So I think you and DeFango work really well together. I'll never know the reality. You'll never know the reality about me. You having conflict with Gabe is drama for most people. Helpful for me if you're distancing yourself from Gabe, because any conspiracy I have, I go, oh, okay, so they're not really together.
Right. Right.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's just, for me, it's just friction. It just translates to friction, which, the viewer is like, I hate drama, but for me, I'm like, okay, friction is helpful. So this all conjures images of random rants of Ryan and all these people that I never really enjoyed. But they could take shots at you. They could take shots at all of us and say, these people are all in on it. It's all just a psyop. Fiona, Isaac, Vegan Mikey. Vegan Mikey is the only one that I ever personally had a problem with, especially since I had DMs open with you. And I was like staring at my screen and information would just vanish off of websites about Vegan Mikey. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have had a huge issue. But I was like, okay, well, I have to step back from Nathan. I have to figure out what's going on. Random Rants of Ryan was working with some guy, I can't really remember, but he was like drawing this net over all of us, saying that we were like handled by trauma. And I think Lloyd, it was really,
Oh, it was crazy. It was the
But what was
craziest
your-
conspiracy. It was like,
But what
it
was your
like, oh,
connection to Kaufman? Because I didn't understand. What was he claiming about you and Lloyd Kaufman? What was that?
it was like, I don't even know.
Your acting history.
I was
right,
in a
right.
John Waters movie. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I think that I don't know if that was the connection or what. I mean, it was just real. That was like, I mean, that's when like Random Rants. I don't know if he was like a little schizo or something. I mean, that was the craziest theory. This trauma gate he came up with. Oh, it has to do with trauma and all this stuff. I was like, where did that come from?
Well,
Yeah,
so
that
you
was
and I had the
amazing.
same. I think you and I had the same thing in common, which is that like we're both really talented with researching on the internet, and we have some kind of connection to the entertainment industry. I don't think either one of us never really dove into it. So we're an easy target because people can say like we're failed actors or failed comedians or failed. We both have that in common. So what I never told you at the time, and I'm stepping away and I'm like, I don't trust the Vegan Mikey thing. I don't like the way that he's going with this. But I worked with this guy named Steve Wolf, and Steve Wolf was a special effects coordinator. And so when I was like 18 years old, I was like doing pyrotechnics on movies and stuff. I was never around with him when this happened, but I was at South by Southwest in a room with him and Lloyd Kaufman. And so when Random Ransom Ryan is talking about this and drawing this big net, I'm sitting there and I'm like, how long before he finds the fact that I was at a film festival with Lloyd Kaufman, and what the fuck am I going to say?
Yeah, right.
So
right. I know. It's like these connections that people make. I know everybody at the
it could
time.
be spiritual. I mean, it could just the doubt that creeped in at that time is sort of like, why is Lloyd Kaufman there? What's the? Because I have no connection to your John Waters thing. You have no connection to the stuff happening in Austin, Texas. But it's very easy. We're easy targets for that reason.
Yeah.
So again, I think friction is helpful. And I wasn't going to call. I wasn't going to say anything, but I just wanted to. And also, I guess there's probably stuff I can apologize for sure because of the when I stepped back and I had to kind of figure out where I was at. The Vegan Mikey stuff, I'll never know what was going on with his web history, and then Isaac Cappy died, obviously. So I think that's the bigger thing. Obviously, is just that. And did Isaac Cappy make a sacrifice? Was Isaac Cappy helpful for raising awareness? I think he definitely was. Gabe Hoffman, I don't know where he was in making his documentaries and research. I don't exactly understand as far as Gabe Hoffman having to take a stand against Isaac. I'll never really understand that tension.
Yeah. That was the thing, is like he polices child sex abuse claims. Like, he bought a documentary, which he didn't make or anything. He just bought it and then became like the expert on any child sex abuse or sex trafficking claims. And he feels the need to like debunk people like Isaac Cappy and Vegan Mikey. And so he calls me a hoaxer and stuff. It says I'm spreading dangerous hoaxes.
Well, I've got nothing on that except for that the building in question, the Voodoo Donuts building, was just highly suspect that both Vegan Mikey and Cappy had done musical shows in the same, but that's very, what do you call that? That's very circumstantial at best.
Right.
But again, as people were looking at it and stepping back and saying, is this a psyop? It's like, what was the name? It was like, you're probably not gonna remember the name, but it was like some kind of rock and roll karaoke show.
Yeah. I remember there was a pizza place and the pizza was called like Pizza Slut. I think it was called Pizza Slut. Yeah. And then there was a place where bands would play. And then that's
as far as I ever went. I distanced myself and said, I don't know what's going on with this.
Yeah.
But why is there this music venue? And why, they're both being presented to me and I'm never going to know, not that, and it's like, and I'm not thinking Nathan knows, I'm thinking maybe somebody's exploiting Nathan. That's in my mind, that's where I go. They're coordinating, somebody's using Nathan, somebody's, there's a ringleader. Okay. Anyways, thank you for hearing me out.
Cool, thanks, Jesse.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Okay, good talking to you. See ya. It's Jesse Spots. Jesse Spots, who's been known to, I was definitely sympathetic to Jesse Spots about his conspiracy theories about celebrity death fakers. Celebrity death fakers. That's one of the crazier conspiracy theories that I might believe. is about like Alex Jones and stuff. So me and Jesse Spots go way back. But he also said River Phoenix is Mark Dice, which I found really fascinating. River Phoenix faked his death, and it's Mark Dice. That's interesting. I showed him that Megyn Kelly looks just like Nicole Brown Simpson. Rush Limbaugh was Jim Morrison. See, I am a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I'm a debunker. Like I've been looking into deaths from the shots. You know, there's different information out there, like that you don't see. Like deaths are up, but they're not up everywhere. Excess deaths. You know, you're hearing like there's all these excess deaths. Well, there are in some places, but then some other places that are super vaxxed, like there aren't a lot of excess deaths. So then you think, okay, well, why is that? Why not? Like if it is really killing people. So yeah, I talked to debunkers and stuff. Like I talked to this one debunker. I have a thing with him, like, because I want to get the other side of the information. Like if everybody's saying, because now it's like everybody's saying the shot is killing people. So I'm looking at the evidence on the other side, believe it or not. And it's weird. They have totally different facts. They have totally different, like I'll show him something that shows like all these excess deaths. Then he'll show me something that shows that actually more vaccinated places don't have as many excess deaths. And I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to believe? This world is so complicated. And then there's what's popular to believe. All right. I think that we might wrap it up unless anybody else calls in. The branch brings up Damar Hamlin. Yeah, like that's super interesting. Like what happened to Damar Hamlin? Oh, like athletes. There's even debate about that, whether they really are dying more. There was one tweet where they said definitively that there are way more dying, but then some people say that's not even true, that it's not way more and that we're just noticing it. So I don't know what to think half the time, genuinely. Like, I don't know, this world is so complicated. But all right, I might wrap it up. I think the phone probably isn't working properly. Thanks, everybody, for the coffees tonight. I really appreciate it. That's nice. And thanks for all the really nice comments. I appreciate that, too. I'll keep trying to do the show. I mean, I got to do the show every day. All right, here's a call. Hey, you're on the air.
Oh man, I got through. Hi, this is Andy from California.
Cool. Where at?
Man, okay. I'm in Concord.
Oh, Concord. Yeah, okay. I used to live up in Oakland, so
yeah,
I'm familiar with Concord.
No, well, okay. I don't know, man. Okay, so I've been watching since like the Pizzagate stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
And but then I don't know what happened at some point, like YouTube stopped recommending, or you stopped showing up on my thing. I know you had a thing where with all the stuff lately, like demonetization or whatever, but like prior to that, I don't know what happened. It was like you stopped showing up on my feed and I kind of like zoned out and just like I was like, oh man. But anyway, I've always wanted to call in, and I'm always like, I never do because I'm always like want to hear what other callers talk about because they're always pretty interesting. But the weird thing is that today I was like, all right, maybe today's the day I'm going to call in, and I was going to ask about the same thing that. Oh shoot, I'm getting the echo. I thought I turned you down. That's from my thing?
You might be hearing an echo because of the way I have things wired up. If you can deal with it, though, I need it wired up that way so that people can hear you. So.
Okay. No, that's okay. Seems to have went away, but I think I muted the streamer. But anyway, okay. So what was I saying? Yeah, no, it was weird because I was like, all right, today I'm going to call in because I'm curious. I never found out whether you thought Vegan Mikey was legit or whatever. And then like that woman that called was like saying the exact stuff that I wanted to ask. So
Okay, cool.
that's pretty.
Yeah. I guess people want to know about Vegan Mikey. I mean, I stopped. As soon as the thing came out that he had lied about his like having a criminal record or having an open case against him, I basically just stopped supporting him. Or, you know, like that's all. I just stopped supporting him because I wasn't going to platform him or anything anymore or go out of my way to defend him anymore because he wasn't doing anything to defend himself either. Like he could have gone on a bunch of other shows and chose not to.
Well,
you know,
well, the weird thing, because I saw is there some guy named like Phoenix something? Because I think I saw
Phoenix Enigma.
Yeah. Like I think I saw something where he was like painting this picture of like, oh, he's a liar and all this stuff. And then, you know, I feel like I'm pretty good at discerning things, but I felt like I can't remember it because it was a while ago, but I felt like he made a pretty good case to be like, oh, this dude seems like he could be like just a big liar or whatever. But the weird thing is like, because when I saw Vegan Mikey on your show, like I believed him. Like I felt like this guy seems like he's telling the truth. And but then the thing is too, is that it's like, I want to believe this stuff. It's like, like I wish we lived in a world where these like sick fucks didn't exist, excuse my French. And this stuff didn't really go on, but I feel like it's definitely going on. And like the people that are courageous enough to talk about it, it's like, it's awesome. It's like that they just put themselves out there like that. And so it's like, when I hear stories like that, it's like, I want to believe it. Because, you know, for some kind of vague hope that maybe these people can be brought to justice or something. But then it's weird too, because like with Cappy, like, I don't know, there's something about Cappy to where it's like, I kind of felt like sometimes he didn't seem totally honest, or like he was making kind of stuff up. So something I'm curious about with that is like, I never really looked into like the Tom Hanks stuff, but what do you think Tom Hanks is into all this like crazy shit?
Oh gosh. You know, the girl that accused that was Sarah Ruth Ashcraft. I mean, it all came out around the same time. It was really weird what was going on.
Yeah.
But there was this person called Sarah Ruth Ashcraft on Twitter who I just saw a tweet from her who says she's about to die. And says like she's secretly married to John Mayer now. She ended up being a kind of like a crazy person, you know, but she said she was sold to Tom Hanks. But yeah, I don't know if I believe it. She ended up being kind of crazy. Like she says she calls herself Sarah Ruth Mayer or something now. Like she's married to John Mayer and she has some kind of thing with him, even though like he doesn't know who she is and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if the Tom Hanks stuff is true. That's all.
Because that's the thing. Is like, I don't think I've ever seen any. All I've seen with like Tom Hanks is like, oh, like I forgot who it was. Like I think, oh yeah, he posts like weird stuff on like, I don't know, Instagram or something. It's like just like cryptic like pictures, and then people are like trying to decode them. Like, oh, this means this, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know, man. Like,
it's a stretch.
So, but I've never. Okay, I was just wondering if like, oh, is there some kind of like evidence out there that I haven't seen to where, you know, like he's tied to this or whatever. Like, I mean, I know there's like some Spielberg allegations or something, but I haven't really seen any kind of like anything other than just like real skeptical, weird, like cryptic images or whatever. So
I thought this stuff, like people pointed, there was like a bottle cap and P, and people were saying Cappy, and it was on Route 66 and people said, but I always thought that was a stretch. And I haven't seen anything like any hard evidence about Tom Hanks. So,
okay. I guess one other thing, and that's the thing too, is like, I never called because like, I always, when I'm watching your stream, I always think of like a bazillion things like I'd want to ask you. And then I'm like, man, I don't even know, like if I called in, I don't even know what I would like start with, but I'm just like shooting off at like whatever's coming to mind.
Okay.
But I guess I'll just say one more thing. So, okay, like, do you really think, because I can't tell, what I think is great about you is like, I like your sense of humor. It's like sometimes I can't tell if you're like serious or joking.
Right.
And like, so do you really think like the Alex Jones, Bill Hicks thing, like, do you really think that could be true, or do you think it is true?
I genuinely think it could be. Yeah, it could be because I just don't think he's really 48 years old. He doesn't look
Yeah.
48 years old. He looks like he's
'Cause
60. So,
Because to me, I'm like, like a lot of the opinions you have on stuff, like I agree with. I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel like we see eye, or well, not, I don't know you like that. We see eye to eye, but like you have like a lot of the same thoughts on subjects that I do. But I'm like that one to me is like, come on, man. I'm like, I don't know, they kind of look alike, but I'm like, dude, to me, like the personalities are like totally different. Like, sure, Alex Jones can be pretty funny and like, Bill Hicks comedian and everything, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Like they seem like two, and I know, you, as you grow, you change and stuff, but I'm like, to me, they just seem like two totally different people,
yeah, could be. I mean, I
Yeah.
saw there's like pictures of Alex Jones when he's younger and stuff. And so I
Yeah.
don't know. It's crazy, but it is true that he looks old. He just does. Like I won't be dissuaded from that. He looks 60 years old, which is how old Bill
Yeah.
Hicks would be. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay. All right. One more thing. No, it's just kind of, and I don't know if there's anything to this, but so one thing I always liked about you too is like the what it is, right?
Cool. Yes.
But I don't know. And, I'm from the Bay and I grew up like listening to a lot of like Bay Area rap. So I don't know cause I think I know, cause you got the 650 number. I know you lived, like in Oakland, like you say. But I don't know. Did you ever hear so I'm sure you heard about like the hyphy movement, Mac Dre and stuff, right?
Yes, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not like real hip on. I know there's like a thing with Northern California hip hop, which I'm not as into. But I did get it. I did pick it up from that kind of.
Oh, you did?
Culture, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool, man. I think that's cool, man. Because okay, so it's cool. It kind of sucks. Well, what happened? So like, not to go on this whole like rap history thing, but anyway, but like so Mac Dre, he's from like Crestside, Vallejo, and then there's like he had his crew, and then there's like this guy PSD, and then he came out with the album like What It Is, right?
Oh, okay.
And he was like, to me, I think he was the guy that kind of started that kind of phrase like around the Bay Area kind of thing, because he had the album, and it was like, and he was like my favorite like Bay Area rapper growing up. But what sucks is like it turns out that like I guess he ended up getting caught on like some kind of like drug trafficking or something. I think like the word on the streets is like he snitched on his crew or whatever. And so that kind of sucks because like I grew up kind of like looking up to him. He was like one of my favorite rappers. Like I worked in the studio at one point, and like he was in there, and I was kind of like somewhat acquainted with him, and he was a pretty cool dude. And what I liked about him is because I always I like real lyrical hip hop the most. Like I respect real lyrical rap, but I also like gangster rap. And what was cool about him was he was like gangster rap, but he was like really lyrical too, And so I always thought that was cool, like how you do the What It Is, because I'm like, man, I wonder if he got it from out here, and if he did, I don't think it's like a thing like, oh, you copied it, man. I think like that's cool. Like you're from. Were you like born out here or?
No, I just lived up there. I lived up there for about 5 years, from 2009 to 2000. Well, maybe a little longer than that, from 2009 to 2016 or so, or 15.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, I lived up in the area, including Oakland. But I lived in Mountain View. I lived in San Mateo. I lived in Lafayette.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. I think that's cool because like I don't hear anybody use it anymore, and I just think it's cool that like that's your thing,
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's dope. But all right, man. Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Cool.
Oh, I just want to say, like, dude, yeah, like I think you're kind of like a hero, man. Like all these years, man, all the stuff you put out, it's just like it's great, man. So
I appreciate it. That's nice. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
All right.
Later.
See ya. All right. Cool. That's cool. I got another call. I'll take it. This will have to be the last call though, because I got to make dinner. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, cool. Actually made it through. I'm another long time listener. I've been following you since San Bernardino, and you did those cool base 12 video.
Oh yeah, yeah. Duodecimal.
Different way of counting.
I know. Like,
yeah,
that's cool. That's definitely old school. So you were in on the original stuff.
Yeah. I've been following on and off for years. I definitely appreciate your unique perspective, even though I don't always, agree with everything you say. I definitely appreciate your kind of counterintuitive or just kind of skeptical perspective on different things. I always appreciate it and kind of get a different insight on some things I hadn't thought about.
Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It was really cool hearing from Jesse Spots too. That was a blast from the past.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, he's around now. He gets involved in some stuff on Twitter, some Twitter Spaces and stuff. You can hear him. I don't know if he's making videos on YouTube anymore, but he's been around. He gets involved in some stuff.
Yeah, so I'll keep it brief, man. I just wanted to just came across an interesting video that kind of highlights a theory that Jackie O killed Kennedy and kind of did some different analysis of the video, and I thought it was really fascinating. I don't know if you've come across that yet, but it's worth looking into.
I haven't seen it. You can share it with me.
Cool. Yeah, I'll post it in the chat or something.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter and stuff too. All right. See ya. All right. That's cool. All right. Yeah, I got to wrap it up. I got to make dinner. So thanks, everybody. Really appreciate everybody. Thanks for the nice phone calls. Good being back. And okay. All right. Last phone call. Just because it's a good show. Hey, you're on the air.
Oh, hey, Nathan. Glad I got through. I just wanted to add a little something to the, I guess, vegan Mikey story, which I don't know that guy or anything, but I used to live in Portland. And Voodoo Donuts is kind of a strange place, but it didn't used to be like big at all in like early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a hole in the wall, but like just weird, like indie, super like indie. But it is interesting backstory about the guy that started it. His name's Trey.
Yeah.
And he actually, because they used to write about him in the weekly magazines there.
Yep.
And he actually, like, right before he started Voodoo Donuts, apparently he watched his girlfriend drown in front of him in like the Willamette River or something.
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, which is pretty. I mean, and he was the only one there apparently.
Kind
of crazy.
Weird. Yeah, that's
pretty
weird.
strange. I'm not accusing him or anything. I mean, I have met him before though. He is a pretty sleazy dude. He used to go out to the bar and would just total creep on girls, and really sleazy though, and perverted things he would say to him, but like he had money and stuff, I guess. So
right.
And it is strange too. I mean, he also was going to start this place called the Portland Pea Palace, where there was just pool and maybe I think pickleball, all these pea.
Oh,
things.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I mean,
Weird.
there's also a weird innuendo. Like,
Right.
Really.
That
And
is
then,
weird.
I mean, and then also, I did know a few people that worked there, and they were just, there's nothing really that special or creepy about them. They're just kind of maybe a little strange. But I mean, it is also strange how they really embrace the satanic imagery.
Yeah. Right.
With the inverted pentagram, because you'll see it downtown. I mean, there's just a line going down the street, and just all these people carrying those pink boxes with the inverted pentagram.
Right. Right.
Strange.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it is like they do have satanic donuts, and they have the cock and balls donut and stuff. So they're an easy target. Yep.
So I don't know about anything, because the whole thing about the vegan Mikey was he said he saw small coffins in the Shanghai tunnels, right?
Yeah, that might have been part of the story. I mean, but he did say stuff happened through the tunnels.
Yeah, because that is the weird. That Shanghai tunnels. That was apparently a old legend of people that were shanghaied. But that it would be interesting if they were shanghaiing children and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. There is a lot of Satanism in Portland, like people that are just like outward Satanists. And apparently, I knew this stripper girl that apparently there was like some building they were using as a satanic temple that were having orgies in and shit like that.
Really?
So
yeah,
a lot of weird stuff going on there. I almost wouldn't doubt it. Degree, but I don't know. But as far as Voodoo Donuts, had humble beginnings kind of, and then they put them on the Food Network, and then it got like
blew up. It blew up.
Yeah.
Now they're huge. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for the local knowledge.
All right, yeah, I don't live there anymore, thank God. Nightmare, but anyways, just wanted to add my 2 cents to that whole thing since his name, that whole story came up.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man.
All right. Peace out.
See ya. Okay, that was the last call. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the coffees. I'll see if I got any more. That would be crazy. See if I got any more coffees before the end. I think that's it. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you at the next show. For now, that's what it is. I won't